Hey guys, Garrett Bryan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to replace your fuel tank on your car and show you a couple of tricks on how to get it done a lot easier. So many people on YouTube generally show repairs and how to do it, but they never show the actual things that you can run into, like super rusted cars, broken bolts, snap bolt, and all the more realistic stuff that happens when working on a car. Which is why me and my buddy Chris over here are actually going to show you what it takes to do a fuel tank, especially on a car this old, my 1989 Toyota Corolla. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is actually disconnect the battery. And if you can, be sure to siphon out the gas from the gas tank. That's going to make it a lot less of a mess and gas getting spilled all over you. Now, I know this may take a lot more work, but if you can get the rear seat out of your car and actually disconnect the electrical to the fuel pump, it'll make it a lot easier. So when you're dropping the tank, you don't have to worry about the wire getting cut or damaged or breaking the fuel pump. Now, we're actually going to go ahead and lift up the car. However, when we lift up the car, keep in mind we're doing this so you can get a better visualization of the car. We understand it's not practical for you guys that have a lift and you guys don't have access to lift, but all this can be done in your driveway, in a parking lot. We've done it plenty of times, pretty much everywhere you can think of, we've done it. Negative degree weather, heat, everything. Now, this is just very convenient and awesome, so we can show you guys how to do the job. Chris, hit it! Oh, the lift's working, man.
We might need this.
Keep it in your pants. Not kidding. And now before we lift up the car all the way, if you are using the lift, be sure to lift up the car just about this height, and then you're gonna go ahead and shake the car down. You wanna make sure the car is not going to fall. It's better for this thing to fall as this height than on top of you when it's up in the air. Now this is the same exact logic if you're using jack stands. If you're using jack stands, make sure you get the car into the jack stands, shake the front, shake the back. We wanna be safe and we wanna be careful.
Side note too, doesn't matter if it's new or old, just shake the damn car. Don't die, please.
Please don't die. We're not responsible for your safety. Input the sound. All right, go ahead and lift it up.
Alrighty.
Now that we have perfect access to the fuel tank, you're going to see two straps. So you have one bolt going to one strap and another bolt going to the other strap. Sometimes it's a bolt here as well as a bolt here, but in this case, it just kind of hinges into the frame of the car. Now, generally, when it comes to all fuel tanks, there's not a lot holding it in. It's just these fuel shafts right here, and then you're gonna have a main feed hose going from the gas tank to the fuel neck, as well as a couple of rubber lines. Another thing to keep in mind is the reason why we drain the gas tank is going to be a lot easier to lower this thing down, especially if you're on the ground. It also prevents gas from splashing all over the place. It's very simplistic. The biggest thing you usually have to worry about is rust, like this bad boy. Now, this is kind of the horrific rust we're dealing with. This is not your pretty garage setup where it's easy to remove the fuel tank. This is gonna be a little bit of a bitch.
You don't say.
Okay.
You wouldn't have this issue with Audi? No, I'm kidding.
That's crazy, okay.
Aluminum chassis.
So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get some penetrating oil. It can be PB Blaster, it could be whatever you favor most. Now we're going to go ahead and soak those bolts in penetrating oil. You don't need that much. And then I'll also soak those hoses. Some people disagree against this, but it's going to help us get this strap out. And so the first thing I like to disconnect is this main fuel hose going to the fuel neck. So it's a 10mm. We'll break this loose, and then afterwards we can get to the smaller hoses. The fuel straps are actually going to be the last thing on our list. Now, you guys, when you're working underneath a really rusty car, especially like this, you're gonna wanna grab yourself some safety glasses. Because trust me, a lot of us think we're cool until you get a piece of metal or rust in your eye, and it hurts and you're wasting an hour trying to get it out. So this is 10mm. We're gonna get our wire brush and we're gonna clean this up, or else we're gonna have a hard time getting out and stripping this if we don't do this properly. Now we're gonna grab our 10mm and we're gonna put it on here, give it a good old love tap.
Crunchy.
Yeah, very crunchy. This is why you wear safety glasses.
Oh yeah, why are you using a ratchet instead of an impact, huh?
All right, well, the reason why you do this is if you get an impact, for one, that's an easy way to strip this thing out, but it's also a quick way to snap this hose clamp. Now, most of the time, that might not matter to you, but better to have control of what you're doing. Now we can wiggle that thing out. Okay.
Crumbs.
I usually eat that for breakfast. So now what I like to do, get a pick, kind of go a little tiny bit under like this. Now next what I like to do is get some PB Blaster and I'll spray it right where I have that pick. Normally you could use something like silicone so it doesn't damage this hose, but we're replacing this hose anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Or you could clean this thing off and you won't have to worry about the damage it causes later. Now, next what I like to do is get some channel lock. We're going to grip this bad boy. Now, keep in mind, this is a very rusted hose. What about the hose, Benson?
Forget about the hose.
With that in mind, if you press too hard, you're going to damage and break this. I'm replacing this fuel tank, but we're gonna act like we're keeping it for your guys' sake. So press really hard. We're gonna go back and forth. So go forward, go back, go forward. If you like rust, keep your mouth open.
Ah.
As you can see, with this bad boy, we can move it back and forth. So it's perfectly fine for us to start going ahead and dropping. When we're dropping the tank, this thing's gonna wanna fall out. Right now, it's under a lot of tension because it's in between the subframe. So realistically, we're not gonna be able to just yank this bad boy out. With other cars, newer cars, you'll be able to do it. This one has been sitting for a couple of years. Now that we have the main hose disconnected, this is the secondary hose. Nothing wrong with having two hoses. I'm kidding. All right, so as you can see here, this one's actually broken. So I'm not gonna have to disconnect it, but in your guys' case, you would have had to do the same exact thing that you did here. But again, ours is snapped off.
Who did that?
I plead the fifth. Okay. Now with all of that disconnected, the last thing on the list is actually getting these straps out. Now keep in mind, guys, remember to disconnect the electrical cables at the top as well as any hoses at the top as well. And I can crack my voice, you better shut the fuck up. And also, guys, fun fact, on some cars, especially like my cool Toyota right here, there's actually a drain bolt. So you go ahead, put a 3/8 in it, you break it loose, and it'll drain the fluid. Now, do I think it'll work right now with how rusted this thing is? No, it'll probably break everything, but it's a really cool feature that would have been nice back in 1989. So again, grab your wire brush, and we're going to clean off that bolt. And now do the second one. Oh God, so much torque that chassis twisted.
This one's about to twist. Good way. Because it's gonna be turned on.
Now, before you just go ahead and try to zip those bolts off, what I actually like to do is grab yourself a chrome socket, as well as a breaker bar and a ratchet. Now, the reason why we use a ratchet or breaker bar over an impact gun is it's very easy to strip and round off the bolt. When it comes to really rusted bolts, it's very important to actually use chrome sockets over impact sockets. It's gonna be a lot tighter of a fit versus a more wider impact socket. This is a lot better, and again, you're going to minimize the amount of time that you actually spend under here by not stripping bolts. Especially if you're a beginner, use a ratchet and breaker bar. Don't grab the impact gun. Oh yeah. There we go. I think this one's probably snapped. Now, if these bolts are really stuck, do not use heat, guys. I don't know if this is something I really have to tell you guys, but do not use heat to try to loosen these bolts. You're better off snapping them at this point, but
Fire.
This is the fuel
bad.
This is the fuel tank. Now, with both of the bolts broken loose, don't loosen them all the way. You're gonna have a bad time if you do that. But grab an assistant. If you have this thing in the air, you could just go ahead and lower it together. Now, if you're doing this on the ground, it's actually best to grab yourself a floor jack. You're gonna raise that underneath the car, and then you're going to slowly lower that thing down as you remove the straps. Okay, that's one bolt. Now, before we zip off the last bolt, keep in mind, look at your surroundings. As you can see, the exhaust is gonna catch the fuel tank a little tiny bit here. So when we lower it, we kinda gotta lower it almost at an angle. And keep in mind with everything else. Is the strap connected to the emergency brake? Is something in the way? So keep that in mind. All right, so bend these back a little tiny bit. This is what I was telling you about earlier. You're gonna wanna play with it a little as we lower it down. And you guys, if it's really stuck, as you can see, you're gonna grab a pry bar. It's almost, oh, I got it. All right, guys, now we can slowly lower it. All right, hold on. There's a line right here. You're gonna have to cut it, Chris. You got this? Woo! All right. Now, as you can see, the fuel tank is out and on the ground. So this is pretty much what we were dealing with. Fuel pumps and the fuel sending unit are going to be at the top. Now, our big fuel neck is right here. As you can see, this thing surprisingly didn't break or get damaged, and this is our small hose. Now, this entire fuel tank is going to actually be replaced, but I just wanted to show you guys the process of removing a fuel tank. It's not as easy as a lot of people may show, but it doesn't mean it has to be that hard. And if you have a buddy like my buddy Chris over here, it's actually going to make the job a lot easier. At least you're going to suffer with a friend.
Together, we're in this together. Wait, what does it go?
I don't even know.
If you ended up enjoying this video or found it useful, be sure to like and subscribe
for more automotive content just like this one. And as always, guys, hope it helps. Hey, I think you nailed that one. Oh my God.